Joining us right now is House Financial Services Committee member, Texas Congressman Lance Gooden. Congressman, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks so much for joining us. What is most important in terms of getting the economy back up and running and jobs, as the president just referred to?
Well, you know, this stimulus package negotiation has so far been a disaster. It started a little too late, and we're now pushing up against deadlines. A lot of things expire at the end of this month, which the end of this month is 2 days away. And we've got to get the economy going. We can't continue to encourage people to stay home with excessively high unemployment. That's one of the top sticking points among Republicans in this next package. That $600 number needs to be brought down a bit. I think Democrats privately agree with that because they've not even indicated that that's a red line. I believe they're willing to go down from that $600. There's talk about stimulus payments, another round of the $1,200 checks that we had a few months ago. And we've also got to have liability protections for businesses and schools that are facing lawsuits. Senator McConnell has said that it is a non-starter if we can't get a bill passed that has liability protections. I think we'll get something done in the next week. I'm hearing this could go deep into August, but I don't believe that. I believe by sometime next week we'll have a package that we'll be voting on. It will probably be bigger than any Republican would like it to be and smaller than any Democrat would like it to be, but I believe it'll get done in the first week of August.
So why has it been such a disaster? Is it because things got started late, or the Democrats are just pushing back on what you and your colleagues are coming up with?
Well, the Democrats were in a good position because about 2 months ago, they just passed a massive bill. They let every far-left member of their caucus get whatever they wanted into that bill. They knew it had no chance of passing. They knew it would go nowhere, but they passed it. So then when we came up to this deadline now, they could say, see, we've passed something months ago, and now we're waiting on you all. And things just unfortunately happened last minute here on Capitol Hill. The negotiations on the Republican side in the Senate started last weekend. But unlike prior packages, there is division among Republicans in the Senate. There's not this sense of let's just swallow this bitter pill of this gigantic bill and move forward. We're now in the third and fourth round of this, and there is less excitement about growing the deficit by several trillions of dollars. And Republicans, myself included, are prepared for nothing to pass if it's going to be a bad bill.
Right, understood. Philip Wegmann, jump in here.
Congressman, you mentioned the top line items, obviously changing unemployment insurance, liability reforms, things of that nature. A lot of your Republican colleagues in the Senate seem concerned about the size of the bill, and you mentioned that. But do you think that your constituents back home are really concerned about an increase in spending right now? For instance, are they concerned whether or not the funding for a new FBI building is included, or do they just want to see something get to the finish line?
I think they want to see something good get to the finish line, but they're absolutely concerned about their grandchildren and their grandchildren's children paying for large bills that perhaps are larger than they need to be today. Another common concern I get from small business owners across my district is this unemployment number. They say we realize we need to have something, but the $600 figure is so high that we can't get some of our employees to come back to work because they make more money sitting at home. So we need to pass something that encourages people to work. And even privately, Democrats agree with that. It makes no sense.
I'm sure. And when you're talking about $21 trillion in debt, yeah, you are going to have to attack this at some point. Now, with rates where they are, I can understand some people not seeing the urgency, but at some point, you and your colleagues are going to have to come up with a plan to rein in this spending. Let me ask you about the president touting U.S. energy. He is traveling to Texas today, touring an oil rig in Midland, delivering remarks on America's energy dominance. Congressman, your reaction with oil prices at $41 this morning, what is the situation in terms of our energy potential?
Well, our energy potential is unlimited. The reason it's so low is because demand is low. We're in a crisis, obviously. But Texas has been leading the way. The United States is in such a great position because of President Trump's willingness to roll back ridiculous regulations from the Obama years and ensure that we don't need to rely on Middle East oil. And we're in a great place in Texas. The president's in Midland today. I know he has a fundraiser later tonight. You know, all these oil folks allegedly are hurting, but I understand the president's already raised $5 million for his reelection campaign tonight. People are enthusiastic about his race. I realize that polling today has the president down. The president realizes that, but we're also 100 days out. If there's one thing that everyone, Democrats and Republicans, can agree on, it's that anything can happen and no one should be surprised about anything in the final 2 months of the campaign season.
So do you think Texas is purple, or is Texas still a red state, Congressman?
I think Texas is still a red state. Obviously, the economy's down. People are worried about the future. Our hope is that Democrats pour all of their resources into Texas and make that fatal mistake. Ignore the swing states because they think they have them locked down. Pour all their money into Texas, and let's see what happens. I'm confident President Trump will win big, and that we'll be moving forward in a good way.
And we'll be watching. Congressman, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks so much.